And what is going on? Good Tuesday evening to you guys. How are you? It's good to see you. It's good to be seen by you. I, of course, am Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver, the switchboard to Greyhawk. That's right, the one, the only. And I hope you guys are having an absolutely fantastic evening. Greetings to you, Metatron. Hello to you, Vincent Notobartolo. So I have seen a lot of signups for the GUAC. That's the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention. In case you're unclear on exactly what that is, and guys, there's got a lot of exciting news about that. So let me clue you in. Let me tell you what's happening. First and foremost, I got this today. Doomsword Deathmaster is going to be running a tournament, an AD&D tournament at the GUAC. He's talking about a first prize, like a cash first prize, my dudes and dudettes. And whatever you are, however you identify, a cash first prize. Old Grognard, good to see you. And on seeing that, I talked to our sponsor. By the way, our sponsor is, of course, as always, Hellebarde Games. Hellebarde makes the kind of modules that they'd like to play, whether it's for 5th edition, Castles and Crusades, or OSR. Old School is in play at the table, and right now, Hellebarde is having a sale on their in-print 5th edition products. That's right. Use the code 5EOOP at checkout and get 50% off your purchase of print 5E products from Hellebarde Games. They have a swamp full of lizard men, a caravan trail full of adventure. You don't want to miss out on that sale. But my buddy over there reached out to me and he said, I want to contribute some stuff to the success of the GUAC. What do I do? How do I do? And we kind of brainstorm. So he's going to be kicking some things my way, some Hellebarde game stuff, but also some first edition advanced Dungeons and Dragons stuff. That's right. That's right, guys. Don't miss out. And I'm going to be pipelining some of that into Doomsword's AD&D tournament. So that's very exciting news. I am waiting with bated breath on Dungeon Minister's merch that he is wanting to create and provide. Because last year's was awesome. I have an example. You guys have seen this before. The glass is still filthy. I need to wash it. But this is like my pint glass with last year's logos on it, unbreaded. So Dungeon Minister is making more merch, and I'm super excited about that. Are those PDF printed books or both? The stuff that Hellebarde is providing as prizes, these are physical items now. These will be physical items. The money presumably will be electronic, so I guess you could call that e-cash, but you'll still get it from Doomsword. So we're all very excited. We're all very excited about the GUAC around here. Greetings, Luther, Pendragon, Lux, Armok. Good to see you. Oh, and speaking of things that are coming up that I'm excited about, Ricky wants to know, how do I get registered as a DM? It should just be you sign up. I will go in and look at your account and see if like there's a toggle I have to, because some people were like, yeah, I was able to sign up and input my games, and then other people were like, yeah, let me sign up, but I can't be either thing. Warhorn's a little weird like that, but I'm going to go through and look and see if I need to manually toggle you or anyone else as a game master. So yeah, we're all very, very, very excited about that. Merch, contests, sponsors, guests, because that's right, Tracy Lesh will be on Artist Alley on Saturday evening of the GUAC. And by the way, if you're out there, if you're new, if you're just coming in, if you're not sure what I keep going on about, the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention is a virtual con. That's right, a virtual con that we're going to be conducting, right? And the best part is, guys, it's free. It's free. I mean, anything that you want to donate to the success is up to you, but your attendance is free. There are no badges. There are no like, oh, well, I have 5 gold tickets, so does that mean I get into this? No, my friends. You sign on to the Discord server that we have set up for it, and you hop in the games. But please do be a mensch and go to the actual website and register for it rather than just jump straight over to the server, so we can know who you are, especially if you're going to run a game. We know who you are, Bronze! So I'm very excited about this. So we've got a lot of cool stuff going on. And I hope you guys are too. I hope you guys are excited about this also. So I'm seeing messages and requests and whatnot. I just saw some stuff and I wasn't sure if it was being directed straight at me, so I didn't want to miss anything. But I'm excited about it. And I hope you guys are too. And if you're having any troubles with the interface, hello, Jack Photon. If you're having any troubles with the interface over on Warhorn, we do have a walkthrough created by Doomsword on how to manage your account. So that's going to be that's going to be to your advantage to check that out. Now I need to see. Let me have a look here, because I'll share that link with you guys. Come on, there we go. Here is the primary link. Well, Sean Hall, let me tell you all about this GUAC event. Hello, Jorge. Let me tell you all about this event. The Great Underground Online Gaming Convention. Back last spring, right at about the 2nd anniversary of me doing my live stream thing. Well, leading up to it, like starting like the spring before, I think it was around June of the year before, I said, if my channel ever hits 1,000 subs, we'll celebrate by having a virtual. Well, first I said, I'll run an AD&D game for some guys. And then I said, okay, well, I'll do a games day. I'll run a couple of 2 or 3 games. And then it just gradually evolved into, and I got dragged kicking and screaming by you lot into doing an actual virtual convention that lasted from like Thursday to Sunday. And we had a lot of cool games. We had a panel We had people who ran games. We had people whose games evolved into campaigns, right? I ran a couple of 2 or 3 events. We had Tracy Lesh because we had an artist alley. I said, you know what? We're going to have a con. We're going to have an artist alley. And I invited Tracy on, and Tracy had some prints that he offered specifically. And we're doing that again. We're doing it again, guys. We're having the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention 2 this year. Now, one thing that I said at that time, and I'll say it again, although when I said it, I felt like hello Longshot. I felt like it's safe for me to say this because I'll never have to follow this up, and that's a good thing. I said if my channel ever got 10,000 subscribers on it, that I would arrange a real convention, like an honest to goodness. You come down to Florida, not to my house. Don't ever show up at my house uninvited. But I would set something up, and that would cost, right? Because you guys know I have like negative budget for this show. But I said I would create like a real convention, and I felt fairly safe saying that because it took like the better part of a year to get 300 subs past 1,000. Then I started reporting on Wizards of the Coast screwing up, and my subscriptions have gone up by just a little less than 3,000. So we're at like 4,503 now. And I made that announcement when we were at like 1,500 and change subs. So I don't think Wizards is going to screw up again to the point where you see like that much subscription coming. When I was doing like 3, 4, 5, you can go back and look at my activity on YouTube. There were days back in January when I was doing like 6 videos a day because Wizards of the Coast kept finding new ways to screw up, and I kept reporting on it. And I was watching my subscriber count literally go like an odometer, like a travel odometer on a car. It has significantly slowed. I don't think that I'm going to get that other 5,500 subscribers in any amount of reasonable time. So I feel pretty safe in saying if I ever get 10,000 subs, I guarantee you guys we're going to have a real live physical in-person convention. I will do the whole thing. I feel safe saying that because I don't think Wizards of the Coast is gonna screw up to the point where I see like that much turnover of subscribers coming. Yes, so we're talking about Tracy Lesh. Tracy is the creator of the visual design of both the Mind Flayer and the Roper. Gary said the monster should do this, and so Tracy created the Mind Flayer and the Roper based on Gary's marching orders. Hello, Lightmane. Greetings, my friend. Crafty Matt says, you think WotC is still in damage control? They have a 20-plus minute video previewing the new DMG, and I don't hear anyone talking about it on Twitter, YouTube, Reddit, etc. Okay. Now, what I would call it if it was I mean, I might just keep the GUAC name. The Great Underground Overland Gaming Convention. You don't know whether I'm tempting fate or cleverly manipulating it. I don't either, Lux. I don't either. But I am fairly confident. I'm fairly certain that I'm not going to hit 10,000 subs in any reasonable amount of time. I'm not saying, oh, it's never going to happen. I'm just saying, like, you know, it's going to be like 2032. You know? They'll be wheeling me in from the home by the time I get that. You really enjoy messing around on the piano? That brings to mind an old joke. Guy asks a cabbie in New York, he's like, how do I get to Carnegie Hall? And the cabbie says, practice, baby, practice. No, if I got like 5,500 subs between like now and June, I can't imagine what kind of a tectonic event would get that many people looking at me. Lightmane, you are hiding your light under a bushel, man. You're a writer. You're a musician. That's what I love about my audience, man. I have like the best audience. You guys are so talented. You have writers, musicians, authors. Well, I guess author and writer, it's the same thing. Painters, sculptors, great thinkers are in my audience. That's who I have. That's who I have. Luther says, a while back, I would not have thought I'd get 5,000. We are on the doorstep. Yeah, but the next 500, that's not happening between now and the GUAC. If it did, if we do reach, because we're 497 shy of 5,000. If we hit 5,000 subs, if we get that last 497 subs before the end of the GUAC, now Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock, when the last game wraps up, the last person logs off of the Discord, if we're at 49.99 on the sub count, I'm sorry. Squirrel Hermit, greetings to you. But if we tick over and there's 5,000 subs on the channel, just as the last person wraps up their last game of the GUAC, well, then we will have a raffle, and there will be 2 prizes. It's not a first prize, second prize situation, no. I just want to make sure you guys understand this. It's not a first prize, second prize situation. There are 2 prizes. I'll let you mentally assign what you think is the first prize, second prize. But the 2 drawings are a set of the quality, the premium color Monster Manual, Dungeon Master's Guide, Player's Handbook. The other prize is a bespoke omnibus version of original Dungeons and Dragons. That's the 3 booklets. And you know what? I'll sweeten the deal. I'll include copies of the pull-out sheets. How about that? Luther says, I've never played or DM'd Land Beyond the Magic Mirror. Deep dive. Maybe. I'm not crazy about the module. But we've got to hit 5,000 subs. All right. 5,000 subscribers. That's 497 more than we currently have. So to everyone who might be watching this right now, tomorrow, etc., if you're not subscribed, if you want a crack at a set of premium color hardcover Advanced Dungeons and Dragons core rule books, if you want a crack at a single volume OD&D book, then click that subscribe button, click the bell icon for notifications, and tell all your friends, hey, this crazy guy is giving away classic Dungeons and Dragons. So do that. Now, one thing I can assure you of, one thing I can ensure and that I can assure you of is there will not be a single winner for both. Like one person, this isn't like I hit the Powerball and I hit my state's Mega Millions. Okay. You will have a crack at one or the other. And I'm going to use like an online raffle system, so there won't be any question of, oh, well, of course that guy won. He's like, like you talk to him all the time in the chat, or he super chats you all the time. Sean says, you'll be sending me a drawing of the stained glass piece. You need to get a measurement where it will fit, where you want to put it. Is there an email address? Yes. The standard contact email address for me is bsylvie@gmail.com. And I can't wait to see that stained glass piece that you've got in mind, Sean. I'm not sure where I'll put it, but it will be awesome. We'll figure something out. If this show hits 10,000 subs, will I run a 5e game using 5e module? No, I won't. That's not a goal I'm interested in achieving. If you said, I'll guarantee you 10,000 subs or the 4,497 subs you need to hit 5,000 subs, if you run a 5e game using a 5e module, yes, I would do that. Tournament prize equals Crush Velvet pick of Dungeon Minister as a cosplay cleric. I love it. You guys will have to talk to Doomsword about that, because he's kind of the deciding vote on that. Let me see, do I have any water in here? There's a little bit of water in there. One thing I want to... This is just completely out of left field and has nothing to do with anything. But one thing that I do want to mention is how tired I still am. I'm still tired, guys. I did a fair amount of chores yesterday. I did laundry, I did dishes, I took care of some stuff, I got the GUAC set up. And then I was just like, man, I'm tired. I am tired. I was tired. And today, I woke up at 8:30, fairly late for me, 8:30, 8:45. Rolled out, fed the dog. Had some breakfast, nearly choked to death. My body said, aspirate some Raisin Bran. Okay. That was a lot of fun. And after I got over the coughing and sneezing fit, everything, I was just kind of moping around. I'm like, Most of the laundry's done. The house is in okay-ish condition. I'm just going to take my comforter and go lie down. And I don't feel sick, right? Like, I don't feel like, oh, death. You keep mentioning that light main, and I keep meaning to, I'm gonna make a note right here. So there, have made a note. So I have no excuse to not look into that. But no, I was just like, just time to, But anyway, so yeah, I still feel a little bit tired. So for those of you who are saying, oh, you look and sound so much better, Bill. I don't feel sick, right? And I don't even feel fatigued. It's hard to put my finger on. Like I got no problem walking my dog like the quarter mile up the block and back now. Okay. He's an old guy like me. So we both just take our time walking up there and back. And when I get home, I'm not like, oh, I was just, nothing like that. But like right now, if you guys just as one just said, we are leaving, and you signed off, and my Tuesday night AD&D group was like, we're not playing tonight, I would say, okay, thank you, everyone. I'll see you next time. And I would go lay down and I would go to sleep, which is not something that like I do at this time of night. So just sleepy, just sleepy, just tired, just pooped. But I'll get over it. Because I have the Wim Hof method. It's now in a tab on my browser, which, because of virtual desktops, I can access over yonder on the editing PC. The studio PC. This is the studio PC. That's kind of the editing, gaming, whatever PC. But anyway, moving right along to other things to talk more about D&D topics. Luther was asking me about Land Beyond the Magic Mirror. So here's my thought. By show of hands, how many fans of Led Zeppelin are there here in the audience tonight? 1, 2, 3, 4. Connect, have you got your hand up? I can't tell. Are you holding your phone up, or is that your hand? I can't tell. Anyway, 5, 6. That's another 5. Okay, so most of you guys are Led Zeppelin fans. Okay, so you got all right. So your hand was up. Okay, all right. So, now, hands down, how many people here are fans of Robert Plant's solo work? And be honest, I don't just mean like, well, I like Big Log. I mean the stuff with Alison Krauss, the world music, all of it. Show of hands. See, I'm not seeing nearly as many hands. Volcano God's right. Immigrant Song is gospel. Crafty says, no, I'm just good with Led Zeppelin. Okay. Like, I remember when Jimmy Page went on tour with The Firm, which was just kind of a crappy pop rock band in the 80s. All right. But people went bananas over that. because Paige would play Led Zeppelin stuff. The firm would play Led Zeppelin stuff. They weren't there for the fifth encore of Radioactive. Okay. The point I'm getting at with this is this. B2, S1 and S3, G123, D123, S4, WG4, WG5, WG6. That is Gary's Led Zeppelin catalog. Okay. I think personally, when you get into Land Beyond the Magic Mirror and so on, you're kind of getting into his solo Robert Plant catalog. All right. I can love what he did over here and not really guys, I had a minty fresh copy of Cyborg Commando. I bought it for like $5. Okay. I ended up selling it for like $50 or $60. It's not good. Okay. We did a deep dive on Unearthed Arcana. Guys, it's not good. Okay. The point is, not everything Gary did for Dungeons and Dragons was super fantastic. So that's kind of like where I'm at. So when people are like, oh, you must like Dungeon Land and Land Beyond the Magic Mirror. No, I don't. And it's not even the silliness. Gary put silly stuff in other modules too. They just don't work for me. Don't denigrate the 2x10 mechanic. The 1D1000 rolls. Metatron wants me burnt. No, I think Isle of the Ape is just a brutal module. It's just it's just like I think it's, but it is edging up there towards the not great territory. Now, Crafty, I'm going to take you to task on that because I don't roll my eyes at Stairway to Heaven. There was a long time when I did. Like, I could enjoy 4, but I'd skip Stairway to Heaven. But I've gone back around on Stairway to Heaven and Tomb of Horrors, I might add. Stairway is everything that's good about Led Zeppelin. Stairway puts on display every element of Led Zeppelin. Folk, heavy rock, Plant's almost spoken word, yet still melodic and mellifluous vocals. The galloping bass work, the thundering drums, guitar that sounds like church bells. The whole thing just makes up what is wonderful about Led Zeppelin. And vis-a-vis Tomb of Horrors, the whole thing is about understanding the Gygaxian gambit that's presented to the players. To touch or to not touch, to enter the door or to not enter the door, to open the chest or to leave it be. All these things are set before the players, like, do you dare? So that's kind of how I feel about it. That's how I feel about Stairway, and that's how I feel about Tomb of Horrors. But with that said, perfect, Matt. You and I merged onto the highway at exactly the right point, so I'm waving at you there. That I completely understand where you're coming from, right? I completely get it. It's like seeing someone that I have shirts that are older than them, and they've got a bumper sticker on their car that says, "I survived the Tomb of Horrors," and it's got, the great devil face. Or, they're wearing a shirt that's got the devil face on it, and, in the middle of the black open mouth, it's free ice cream, stuff like that. Or, the dude who's trying to play Stairway to Heaven on the mall concourse with his acoustic guitar. That kind of thing, I think, is what maybe you and I are talking about, Crafty Matt. And I agree with you. Tomb of Horrors is a Kobayashi Maru of D&D. Yes and no, Jorge. Yes and no. It is a winnable scenario. It's a winnable scenario if your players, let me emphasize this, if your players are smart. I can take a group of experienced D&D players, not even necessarily people who have played Tomb of Horrors before. Give them each an 8th level character, 1, and ample healing, because there are a few combat-related matters in Tomb of Horrors. They'll make it out with minimal casualties. I'm not saying they'll solve it. I'm not saying they'll get all the way to the end and face a Sararak. I'm just saying they'll make it out with minimal casualties. I can take inexperienced, and I don't necessarily mean like, lol, you only play 5e, therefore. I just mean inattentive players. If you've been playing since 1974, but your group has been kiting you, and you played with soft DMs who, believe in fudging die rolls, and you're looking at your phone all the time. What? Oh, what die should I roll? Does a 17 hit? That kind of player. You can give me a table full of them, and I'll give each of them 2 12th level characters. They will be dead before they make it through the one-way door maze. They will be out of characters before they make it through the one-way door maze. It's not about presenting an unwinnable scenario. It's about presenting a scenario that can very easily go south if you just try to think with your sword and focus solely what's on the piece of paper and not listen to what the dungeon master is telling you. Get 10,000 chickens and release them into the tomb before you go in. That's how we get Popeye's fried chicken down here in the South, by the way. I'm not a cigar smoker, Matt. I will take your I will take your analogy and say, okay, that sounds solid to me. Speaking of Tomb of Horrors, I will mention that Paul Stormberg will be here next Thursday. I tried to get him on this Thursday, but he's like, nope, I'm busy. And generally when Paul is busy, like he's really busy, like usually he'll say, well, I might have something to do. If he just flat out says I'm busy, that probably means Paul has like 6 things to do Thursday, all at the same time and possibly in different parts of his town. So next week, next Thursday, that's a week from this Thursday, Paul Stormberg will be in the house. And if you don't know who Paul Stormberg is, can you really call yourself an old school D&D'er? You'll be able to after Paul is on. And I get embarrassed because a lot of times people say, oh, that's Bill Sylvie. He knows his way around old school D&D. He knows so much D&D history. He knows all these guys. Look, I don't know a tenth of what Paul has forgotten about the history of TSR, classic Dungeons and Dragons, the history of various modules. You don't want to miss, excuse me, you don't want to miss Paul being a guest on the show. So now you have ample notice of forethought. So he'll be here next Thursday. And what we talk about, well, you'll just have to stay tuned to find out. So that's a thing that's going to happen. And as if that wasn't good enough for you guys. Just gimme. That's all you guys ever do. In a few weeks, I tend to compartmentalize things and think, well, that's in May. That's really far off. Gotta look here. On May the 18th at 7:00. And that, by the way, is that is a Thursday, May the 18th, Thursday at 7:00. Set this up. Set up an appointment in your Google Calendar or in your Outlook calendar. Write it in magic marker on your arm if you have questionable bathing habits and won't get washed off. On May the 18th at 7:00, the Errol Otis will be live on the show. That's right. I'm excited. I hope you're excited about it too. Also in May, and I don't have the dates nailed down. I don't have the dates nailed down yet. Greetings, Michael Connor, hail unbreaded. We will also in May have David S. LaForce, Diesel LaForce will be here in May, and Darlene, the artist Darlene, will be here. So I'm excited about that. We have got a superstar May coming up. I got to nail down dates. I'm not sure if it's going to be in May. I'm not sure if it's going to be here in a couple of weeks. But we're also having Bob Antone back on the show. And you're like, who is Bob Antone? Well, if you stick around to the end of the show, Bob wrote the awesome track Owl Bear. Jeremy Rule will be here. Now, the interesting thing is, Jeremy introduced me to Bob. Bob and Jeremy are in a musical group together called Tinkham Road. And both of them very talented musicians. But Jeremy is also like a tech wizard kind of guy, right? Jeremy played D&D with our group for years, like 4 years, 5 years, something like that. It was crazy. Played a cleric that got mashed in half by a boring beetle and then switched over to play a bard. And he did a bard all the way. 1st to 5th level fighter, 1st to 5th level thief, 1st to 8th level bard before he had to leave. Well, Jeremy is also, like I said, he is a computer wizard. We're going to talk about artificial intelligence and tabletop role-playing games. No matter where you stand on that debate, I think you'll find it a fun and informative night when we have Jeremy. So just listen to that roster of guests. I'm going to try and get Tracy on the show before the GUAC, but if not, he'll be at the Artist Alley Fun we're going to have. Benjamin Howarth says, we ride kangaroos to work in Aussie land. Do you get in the pouch things? I played a little bit of Isle of Dread and DM'd a little bit of Isle of Dread. A buddy of mine actually used it as a side quest to Temple of Elemental Evil. We went bopping around the world of Greyhawk looking for pieces of Yellow Skull. And a friend of mine stuck the Isle of Dread off the southern coast of Greyhawk. So that was interesting. Oh, you're quite welcome, Sean. You're quite welcome. There's back before the Simpsons, began the great suckening. There's an episode where the Simpsons go to Australia. Bart and Homer are on the run from the Australian authorities because, of course, they are. And I can't remember which one of them it is. They point at a couple of kangaroos and say, "Quick, we can get away in those," and run over and try to climb in the kangaroo pouches. And like Bart pulls his foot out, ew, and it's like sticky. No, Isle of Dread is in Mystara, and I neither know nor care what Frank may or may not have done with it. There is a T-Rex on the cover of the Isle of Dread. I have, at least I think I have. I could be wrong. If I do have it, it's shoved in a box somewhere. But I have or had the Goodman Games X1 Isle of Dread hardback. I've never looked at it. I have never looked at it. Yes, that's right. The Prime Minister was going to kick Bart with a giant boot because he wanted to know what directions toilets flushed. So he called some kid collect and said he was like with the UN Board of Plumbing or something like that. And Bart put the phone down and wandered off, so the call stayed on, and the guy got like a multi-$1,000 phone bill, and it created an international incident, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Classic Simpsons, good Simpsons. The days of good Simpsons. But yes, there was a T-Rex on the cover of the Isle of Dread. In fact, we can look at that right now. Nope, don't do that one. That's the Wim Hof tab. I think the Isle of Dread would be a fun deep dive. What do you guys think? Well, that's the later printing. We want to know the one that's got the Jeff D looking. There we go. The blue cover Isle of Dread. I'm just going to share this just real quick, like with you guys. I don't want to. This is not an endorsement of whatever website this is. And yeah, I know you can yo ho ho, raise the black flag and all that jazz and mataz. I mean, you can make the case that that's not really a T-Rex. That is more of like a giant lizard man, right? I mean, because he's straight up punching a guy in the solar plexus there, which little T-Rex with his little flappy arms up here is not going to be able to do. "5e sold Isle of Dread and named it Chult." No idea. But it is an awesome cover. I actually quite like the cover. You know, it's got a coral snake right in the front, which, you know, I had lived in Florida for a couple of years and I had already learned all about coral snakes. The T-Rex is on the orange cover. Let me see. Is it that different? I'm not doubting you. I'm just. Yeah, the T-Rex is on the orange cover, and it's less cool in my opinion. The T-Rex is like, "Oh, don't hurt me" on the orange cover. The giant lizard dinosaur guy on the blue cover is just straight up like, "Bitch!" Just bunny punching that dude right in the sternum. So for my money, the blue cover is for the win. Oh, you want to see? Here, I'll show you the orange cover real quick. I will show you the orange cover because that's how I roll around here. I show you guys, you know, I share things with you all. Let's see. And we'll do this also. We can do that. Do this. Wall. Come on, where is it? Present, share screen, screen. So there you go. That's there's your there's your T-Rex. Like I said, he just looks startled, like, "Oh, I didn't realize you guys are going to be here. Oh my gosh, that's whoa, wow." No coral snake. No rabbit punch from the dinosaur. The blue one's better. Blue cover's better. Sorry, that's a fact. That is an actual fact statement. It is an objective truth. You can be correct and like the blue cover. That's right. The T-Rex is doing the twist. He just looks like he wants to dance with somebody. Exactly, Crafty Matt. That's what I'm talking about. The first one is taking it to the guy. Like he's just coming down and just straight up, just get off my island. It is of dread. It's not the island of humans. It's the island of dread. And look at me. I'm a T-Rex, but I didn't skip arm day. And this guy is like, "Oh." All the GUAC too. No, that'll just get you in trouble with Wizards of the Coast, Dungeon Minister. Although people don't seem to care that there's like some guy that, or people or persons that have like a D&D merch website and just like all the t-shirts, all the classic books on t-shirts, just boom. Aw. Don't be mad, Luther. But anyway, so yeah, that's that is some cool stuff that's going to happen. And speaking of cool stuff that is going to happen in just a few minutes, we're going to be playing some first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Cover art is not. I did not know that, Jack. Luther is trying so hard to defend that orange cover. They're not fighting. They look startled. The T-Rex looks startled. They're getting ready to throw down, and one of the dudes has already been punched by the dinosaur on the blue cover. Who needs arms when you can bend over and swallow a man sitting on a toilet hole? I don't really sit up at night thinking about that one, Michael. Oh, that's right. That's Jurassic Park. T-Rex trying to put on a hat. Oh my goodness. So yeah, we're just waiting just a few more minutes to play some AD&D. Although I will say, with Jack mentioning the movie posters, this is something that, like, I didn't even realize until I realized it, because a buddy of mine who worked in movies pointed this out, and this was back like in the early 2000s, or possibly even late 90s. Do a Google image search for blue and orange movie posters, and it's almost a meme at this point. But blue and orange movie posters from like 1989 to probably, it may even be going to date, blue and orange movie posters. Just like the floating head Marvel movie poster. Yes. Also, certain deletions from movie posters for certain movie markets, which I find infuriating. I mean, honestly, when you consider the attitudes of modern media producers to then immediately do 180 and buckle instead of telling the people in the country, like, look, people in your country want to see this Marvel movie, this Star Wars movie, this Disney movie, this whatever, and we want to show it there. Here's our promotional materials for it. We even have it in your country's native language. But no, we're not going to put a flag over this actor or this actress. Sorry. Luther's going to make the orange cover. That's fine. Worship the orange cover all you want, Luther. Bless your heart. We'll see you around, Lux. Have a lovely evening. Also halted the telegraphed romance for the same reasons. Yep. So we're just waiting on our three other members of the AD&D game to sign in, and then we're going to play some AD&D for a couple of hours. So if you're just joining us, if you're just like, hey, where's the AD&D? It'll start as soon as we get the rest of our crowd in, guys. Did you guys ever... Let me ask y'all something. Let me get real for a second here. Anybody ever stop and think about how odd it is that I do this 5 nights a week? I was thinking about that today. Not in an, well, I guess I should stop then, or anything like that. Oh, well, get to feeling better, Sean. 5 nights a week. It's just habit now. It is kind of interesting. No game starts before it's time. All right, there's Mobius. He has hopped into the back room. So problem with having a big group is like I see the green room start to fill up, and then I watch my number of watchers drop down as I realize you guys are hanging out there. Chaos says he's lucky to stream once a month. Including changing her background. Hey, you know who else likes the orange? Isn't that an Auburn color? Clemson, Tennessee. Now Luther's gonna unsubscribe. My commitment to this effort does take distinct time from the day and personal toll, Bill. It does. It does. I'm sorry, Luther. Luther, I sincerely apologize. All kidding aside, I sincerely, honestly apologize. You rock that X2 cover. You rock it, my man. Oh, Orbital, quiet you. Oh, you're quite welcome, Jimmy. No, I was just kind of contemplating that. Oh, by the way, we're 4504 on the sub count. Thank you, whoever subscribed. I do appreciate it. No, and again, I'm not going to stop doing it. Like, this is not some wind up to me saying, I'm not, it's weird and I'm going to stop. That's not even a little bit where I am. But 5 nights a week. The odd part is I come up, even when I don't have content on any given evening, I somehow make content. I make D&D content until you guys are happy. Well, you know what? We have 4 people in there, so hopefully Baron Von Headbanger will be joining us shortly. So let me don my headphones and let us welcome in. Let us welcome in our guests here. I've got to have a quick, let's see. And let us say good evening to Mark, who plays Brother Ishan, the monk, the Iron Monk himself. Oh, no, wait, you're the Glass Monk, I think, at this point. His character might be an outlier, but he's definitely one of the in-crowd here. Say hello to TK. He's 8 Mobius 8, which is some kind of math thing, probably. Everybody say good evening to Mobius as Cecil.
Hey,
Good
Elf.
And the guy we couldn't do without, he's the man with a plan, the Master Jam himself. Everybody, guard your wallets and say hello to Doomsword Deathmaster as Turgo.
What's up?
All right.
Hey, Bill, I'm with you on Team Blue Cover for X1.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm setting that aside. I don't want to have any bruised feelings, whether the bruise is trending towards bluish or orangish. But I thank you. Thank you. Dungeon Minister, thanks for hanging out. What would be, Rob says, what would be a cool weirdest traps? Well, Rob, you asked for it, and that's what we'll have tonight. The deadliest and weirdest traps for this party. Or is that not what you meant? Anyway. Okay. Last week, the party had fought a group of hill giants to a standstill and to their death to avenge a farmsteading a few days' ride out from the city of Greyhawk that had been savaged by these wild beasts, no doubt, who had crept up from the depths of the gnarly forest to the southeast, or southwest, I should say. But at any rate, having slain them and acquired a not inconsiderable bit of loot from their persons, I think it was it 12,000 gold pieces you guys got?
13, I think. And then miscellaneous bits and bobs.
Miscellaneous bits and bobs, indeed. Thanks for hanging out, Crafty. We'll see you around. But it was enough for everyone to level, yes?
You're cute.
Not I.
Cecil did.
I'm leveling up.
I'm so stupidly far away from leveling because of those whites, it's hilarious.
And then Brother Ishan, Mark's character leveled, did he not?
Yes, he did. And he's now 1 experience point away from the next level.
That's right. You guys have got to go find a...
I'm going to go kick a rat.
And your 1 hit point.
Yeah, I rolled a 1 on my hit points. Woo.
Did Cecil almost wrap around too, Mobius?
He's close, but he's not like 1 point away or anything.
Okay.
Are you like 50 points away?
No.
Like, I want to know how big a rat we have to go kick.
Yeah, I'm almost 200 points away. Not much.
That's still doable. That's still doable. I've gotten more from killing a giant spider. Mark might remember that incident. Those were some. Those spiders had fat loot. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna get up to.
Probably go back to the castle after we're trained.
Well, Cecil wants to go to a blacksmith and get some silver bullets made or bought if he already has some.
You use a sling?
Yeah.
So I believe I had quoted you this before. If you wish to get silver bullets made for your sling, it's going to be at a rate of 2 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
It will basically cost you 2 silver for 1 silver bullet.
Yeah, I only need like a dozen.
Okay. So that is.
I figure I could do that while training.
Yeah, that'll just take a couple of days to prepare.
Question for you, Bill.
Mm-hmm.
My monk, level 3, I get to speak with animals like druids can.
That is correct.
But for a druid, it's a spell. How often can I speak with animals?
That is interesting.
It almost feels like the druids maybe used to be able to speak with animals all the time, but it's a spell now. So I'm just curious, like, can I just do it all the time? Or can I just chat up Sir Outlier's dog?
And how long can you speak with animals for?
If it's like the
That's one.
spell, if it's like the spell, I have it printed out. I can look it up. I'm just curious, like, how is that going to work? So I thought I'd ask.
Well, I think probably the best way to do it would be a number of times per day equal to your level, and duration would be as the spell.
Okay. So I basically can, quote unquote, cast Speak with Animals one time per level, which is level 3. So 3
Mhm.
times. And duration is if I was casting the spell. Awesome. Sounds good.
Correct.
I will stop prepping Speak with Animals then.
Well, the trouble is I'll probably just be talking to the local squirrels, and I'll use them all up like in the first few minutes.
I mean, that's valid, but I'm still going to stop prepping Speak with Animals then.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
On the way to town, we got to stop at the bank or wherever you guys are storing your loot. I had to put some in there.
Yeah, it is a 2nd level spell, so, you know, for me, it ain't nothing.
And also, Bill, it will cost 4,500 gold for me to level up to level 3. I mean, sorry, 3,000 to level up to level 3. Correct?
That is correct, yes.
Awesome. Thank you.
Nice.
Let me figure out what I have left in the bank.
Well, I can also assume my spells have long since reset. As well as I can assume I'm at full hit points, unless I've contracted some kind of disease, DM.
Don't give him any ideas.
Well, he's given me Gondicif or Herpalades before, so...
By the way, those who are curious about what Brother Ishan might be using his Speak with Animals for here, I have, let me see. Just real quick. There we go.
Yeah.
Are camp cooks a possible hireling for adventuring party? Yes, Damien. If a party wished to hire a cook, they absolutely could. They'd probably have to have a fairly large retinue. I doubt that a single lone cook would be interested in sitting by himself alone in a camp while a party spent a week inside a mega dungeon. Metatron's asking, does anyone have find plant? Yeah, that's the running meme joke is the relative uselessness of find plant.
Depends on the plant you're looking for.
The objective uselessness of find plant. Okay. All right. So what do you guys wish to do now that you have leveled and so forth and etc.?
Well, I've never been to this freaking castle you guys have been talking about.
Let's go. Brother Ishan now carries a large spear-like polearm.
We never did. Yeah, we never did actually make it to the castle with the ranger.
Okay, so your paladin Cork will follow along quietly behind you, and the party will depart. The party of the first part, being the party of the second part, will depart. Okay, any questions as you guys travel?
Are we saving any lovely dragons from evil damsels?
Nothing has appeared on the horizon other than the occasional farmstead with the mid-looking farm girls, and the only thing they need saving from is daily chores. But Other than that, no. Not so far, mind you.
Nothing suspicious from the paladin who happens to be bringing up the rear.
No. He is, as I
Good.
said, he's strangely silent this way along. And of course, I will ask the question, are you guys stopping at the Last Chance Inn on your last day before you reach the outskirts of Castle Greyhawk?
Brother Ishan has no desire to do so, but he doesn't mind if other people want to.
I have no opinion.
I'm good. Carry on.
Straight to the castle.
Alrighty. So as you are continuing on the middle of the last day on your way to the Castle Greyhawk ruins, let's have a quick gander there. See if you notice anything. Oh, cool.
You run into a herd of angry antlions.
You mean Ankeg?
Well, there's the antlion creature as well, I think.
Yeah.
Like D&D,
Oh,
I think,
yeah,
has
they're
a giant antlion.
different. Gonna burrow up and bite you in half.
Yeah.
No, this is as you guys are approaching the edge of the tamarack stands and scrub pines and so on that surround the castle itself, and you are moving through the marsh. The ranger, do me a favor there, Mobius, and roll a d6, please.
All right. 6.
Okay. You are not surprised by the thrashing and crashing sound. About 30 yards away, pushing through the underbrush, you see these sort of, and considering the cold weather, you think for a split second, well, of course they're kind of bluish, but then you realize, no, their knees are bending backwards the wrong way. They're stooped over and they're shuffling towards you all. Is a group of humanoid creatures. And one of them points at your group and says, "Yes, brothers. Yes, there they are. Oh, we will eat well. Yes, come, my brothers." And you hear more crashing and thrashing from the woods behind this one.
Well, I point that
Are
out
they
to the rest
large?
of my friends.
No, they are not large. They are not large at all. They are about person-sized. And the ranger is pointing this out.
Slip in a
Person
bullet
size, you guys can see that. Okay. And there are, I'll see, hovering out of the mist. Hang on a second. And I have to admit, at first I thought this said something completely different and was really worried for you guys, but it was not what I thought it was. So there are a total of 4 of these creatures that are shuffling out of the muck, and they look very like ghouls.
Well,
I thought we destroyed you before.
I will attempt to turn undead. I'm not necessarily convinced that they'll be turned, but sure.
Say please while you turn. Maybe that'll help.
Okay, what is Brother Ishan doing?
Getting out his crossbow staying on the cart, and we'll take a pot shot.
Okay. Vince wants to know where Castle Anthrax is in this region. Always just over the horizon, Vince. Always just over the horizon.
Right here.
What is Turgo doing, Doomsword?
Yeah, I'm going to fire magical arrows with my short bow.
Okay. And again, neither side is surprised. Well, why is it not there? All right. Okay. So we'll start with Mark. Roll initiative, please. That's a D6.
I rolled a 5.
You rolled a 5. I rolled a 3. Turn Undead goes first.
I turn automatically if they are ghouls.
Okay. What level cleric are you again?
5th.
5th. Okay.
Yeah, that should turn them. They should turn them
20.
automatically.
Because they don't run away.
Okay, so they ain't ghouls.
A reasonable assumption.
Yep.
Did you roll your D20?
Oh, absolutely. Sorry. If
That's
they were
okay.
ghouls, I'd automatically turn them.
No, I got you.
Otherwise, 18.
18. Okay, well, they don't like that. They start screeching and turn to run, but your missile fire will go first. So those of you firing missiles may take your missile shots at their retreating forms.
Oh, they could have been badass.
I hit a AC 5. Is that good enough?
Let's see. Yes, that will hit.
4 points of damage.
Okay. He kind of screams and slaps at his shoulder, but keeps running to get away from you as long as possible. Cecil will go ahead and let fly with a bullet, please. And are you using a silver bullet or a clay bullets or what?
Well, I was using one of the new silver bullets, but I totally missed. I rolled a 4.
Phew. We're going
I rolled a 4 as well.
zing. Okay, well, the rate of fire on a bow is 2, so you may take another shot at their retreating forms because they are not.
I'll do so. I rolled a 5 that time.
Getting better.
Yeah, I try to remember where those, or discern where those arrows land so that I may pick them up.
Beware, brothers. He's gradually getting better. In perhaps 20 minutes, we may be struck. Well, no, you actually do not hear that as they vanish back into the swamps with Outlier holding up his holy symbol. The power of Palor compels you, and they scatter. So yes, these were probably ghasts, and Turgo, you may retrieve one of your arrows.
Thank you.
Well, Blair had not Palor, but yes, very good.
But when it came, because I'm not wearing my readers, for a split second I wasn't sure if it was ghosts or ghasts.
Well,
Metal detector at home.
Difference.
Well,
Ghosts could be bad.
I have a 5% chance to turn vampires and a 0% chance to turn ghosts. So, hey.
Oh, the dreaded ghost.
Yeah, ghosts hurt. Well, actually, they're not so bad for me, but for any of you playing humans, it's rough.
Yeah. Even seeing a ghost. Okay, but they were not. They were ghasts, and they have left the scene. You guys, literally all they leave because they are fleeing for They're fleeing for a while. You're not sure exactly how far or exactly how long they're going to flee for, but they're also like going at top speed just to get the hell away from that holy symbol. Oh, we didn't actually roll for the number. Wait a minute. That's important.
Yes, we have to roll for that. We have to roll for the number turned. I thought we were just being expedient.
Roll a d12, please.
Yes, sir, Bob. That is a 3.
Okay, well, the one that had popped up stands its ground and begins to, he spends his round. Well, let's see. What does he want to do since his fellows have been driven away? Yes, he thinks better of it. He also flees with his fellows. So you send them scampering away.
Interesting.
And at least for the... and they put... Mark's back. Yes, they put as much distance between you and them as is possible. They're gone, daddy, gone.
Also, for my first, I guess this is while we're transitioning and fleeing these undead. Fun fact for you, I broke my first bowstring today. 20 years of archery, and I finally snap a bowstring.
Well, I mean, it was bound to happen, right? I mean, on a long enough timeline, everything's going to happen. All right. That was the middle of the day. And by the evening, when you arrive at the careworn longhouse, you do not encounter anything else.
Cool. All right. Yeah.
What time do we get there?
It is late evening when you arrive there.
Well, there's only one thing we're going to do.
Tell the new guy the code word so he can get into that longhouse.
Why would I do that? We'll just open the door for him. Yeah. All right. New guy. Whenever you. Actually, first things first. Is my glyph still on the door?
Oh yeah.
Has anything come to visit?
No, nothing appears to have tampered with it.
Excellent. Okay, so then yes, I will give I will give the new guy the code word. You know, whenever you enter this area and the barn, please remember code words, right? And otherwise you will be in for a hilariously good time. For us, we'll be digging your grave. It'll be fine.
What's the code word?
Well, for the barn, it's barn door.
Okay.
For the other one, he'll end up giving it to you.
All right.
That one's not polite for YouTube or streaming society.
Oh.
It's Longhouse.
Remember, this has to be safe for Dungeon Minister's kids. That's the only thing that keeps this bleeping, bleepity bleep of a bleeping stream bleeping.
Alrighty, keep that in mind.
All right. So you're there. You're armed. About creating. Are you going straight to the castle, or are you going to rest up this evening?
Oh no, we are passing out.
Yeah, we'll go in the morning.
Yes, were you that choppy for everyone, Bill? Obviously, you can't answer that question. But that's directed to everybody.
It was for me. Yeah,
me too.
I thought it was on my end.
The only one.
Okay. Yeah, no, we do get some network chop now and again. It's unavoidable. It could be me. It could be you. It could be StreamYard. It could be YouTube. It could be any number of things.
Yeah. But no, we and our followers are going to do standard procedure, which is go in, pass out, and not unload the cart until we've been here at least for a day and a half. Because otherwise, we're just going to have to reload the cart with somebody that's probably dead.
Yeah, and we'll take a standard watch, right? Whatever that is. I assume I'll take watch toward the morn.
Brother Ishan's happy with whatever watch he needs to take. I'll take the middle watch.
Sure.
First, that way
I'll take the Rolex.
All
I
right.
heard the Rangers do not sleep.
This one does.
Alrighty. Let's see here. Hopefully I'm not still choppy.
I don't know.
No, good.
It's probably just when a bunch of us are trying to.
It could be. Or again, it could be just something with YouTube.
It's when the
'Cause I-
Illuminati are monitoring the channel. It happens all the time.
Yeah. I never experienced
that.
any chop. All right. Pre-dawn hours. Who is on watch?
I believe that would be me.
Yes.
I think it was Turgo and or Outlier.
I think Outlier was first. You were second.
Yep.
And then I was right before the morning. Or the last watch before the
Technically
morning.
speaking, we are all pre-dawn.
Well, yeah. But I think he meant immediately pre-dawn. I don't know what the Ranger's doing. I guess he sleeps the night away.
Oh, I was taking first watch. That's not pretty.
I'm
Oh.
gonna kick him. I'm gonna kick the Ranger every hour to make sure he's awake.
Well, you won't get any spells memorized, nor will you get any rest if you do that, but do as you will.
No, you just have the next guy kick him. I kick him for the first shift. Ishan kicked him for the second shift.
It's how we keep time. Instead of like saying prayers or songs that are a certain length, we know how many times we kick the Ranger per hour.
Jerks.
And so that's how you do it.
I'm gonna start getting my spear out. Just stab feet.
Okay, so nothing terribly eventful happens during the evening, and you find yourselves refreshed and ready to face the challenges of the day.
Colleagues, where are we going in the castle today?
With beards all wagging, not knowing what brings Mr. Baggins.
Shall we go to where
Interesting
we have
tale,
trolls?
friend. Yes, I think that is the most appropriate choice.
New and unexplored
Yeah,
areas.
may as well. To the tower it is then.
Return to where the treasure floweth forth.
So your pockets then.
Not my pockets, friend.
I don't
Yours.
care.
I suggest you don't check them now, else we might have a problem.
I don't carry any money with me. Well, not much.
I was referring to your ale. Quite tasty, that.
Valid. But that's my bargaining whiskey. You keep out of it.
Next time I will.
Water. All I got is water in my flask.
It's one part bargaining chip, one part emergency flamethrower, 2 parts sterilizing agent, and 1 part cure potion.
One part
A bottle of
urine.
A bottle of whiskey can be your best friend.
All right, let's see here.
Let's go cross that log. So is the log icy today? Or is it just wet?
It's just wet.
Oh boy. Actually, DM question. How long would it take me to take and place another log alongside it?
You'd have to retrieve them. That might be a good hour. If you want a really considerable tree, maybe a half an hour for something that will just do.
We could lash the ends as well, could we not?
Yeah, does the party mind if I do that?
We have no certainty as to how clumsy the ranger is yet.
Well, it's also like I've seen a couple characters. I can think of 2 that have fallen off it in the past. We've gone running, screaming across it in the past, and I just think it'd also be easier to remove things from the castle if there was a means of getting our cart across.
In that case, would not 3 be better?
I do. I figured 2, something like my mule could handle. Right, my mule could walk along too without too much problem. But yeah, if we want to try and bring the cart in, we're going to need at least 3.
Let's put down at least one other log.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Brother Ishan will happily help manhandle the log in place.
Okay.
All right, so something
also, that way
that will... No, I was just going to mention something that will easily support the carts, be wide enough, won't be like, the scene from Sorcerer. It's going to require more than just like throwing another log down next to it. Like if you want to create something that's steady, that if you're in haste, you can quickly get across, that's actually going to take some work. Not just...
Yeah, at that point, we're taking an entire afternoon, splitting a couple of trees in half and laying them down that way. Right. We could even take the existing log and one other large log, split them all in half, lengthwise down the end, and there you've got 4 right there.
I see no reason not to do so.
I mean, why not? It's a fun way to go.
I'm quite comfortable here, sitting alongside the longhouse. In fact,
well,
I will supervise. However,
you have a little folding chair and a cup of beer.
I have some elven wine, thanks.
Turgo, why don't you run interference? Because the last thing we want to do is be dragging a tree down and have another owlbear come and give me a hug.
Indeed. I will keep watch carefully.
You keep watch carefully from your lawn chair. But
I'll do a bit better than that. I will keep my bow at the ready. Not knocked, mind you, but at the ready.
Does the new ranger want to help?
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure we could sucker Cork into doing it.
There's strong thieves on those men.
Yeah. Hey, see? All those farm tools, they're going to help.
Okay, so you spend a while working on this, and as this is going on, Turgo, you're literally just kind of sitting off to the side watching this as this goes on.
Yeah. I keep my bow and in my left hand, keep a hand on my quiver of arrows, that sort of thing, ready to knock one and fire. But looking around, I'm not just going to totally screw off. I'll try to be attentive.
That's fine. You're watching them doing their working, and out of the corner of your eye, off in the woods nearby the castle, You see someone with a small lantern, not a bullseye style lantern, as though it's being held aloft. You can't quite make out a figure there in the branches under the tree, but it's whoever has this it's like they're observing you from a distance.
Oh there, men. We have company.
Stop doing
I'll slowly raise my bow without knocking an arrow, regarding the individual to try to play it cautiously.
Okay.
I presume we, as the party members, are probably somewhere in the process of splitting those logs in half.
Yes, that is correct. It's making quite the racket.
Yeah, nothing like a few hours, lots of wedges, hammers, and screaming.
Yep.
So, looking over to wherever Turgo was showing us, is it a human-sized creature? Is it small?
The lantern height, the light source height, in the shade under the trees would lead you to believe that it's someone probably of elfin sized that's observing you by a lamplight.
Is that go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was going to say, is it not like the middle of the afternoon?
It is, but there's plenty of shade under the trees.
And how far off is that again? Would you say?
It's a good maybe. It's a good maybe 100 yards off to the north of where you're watching them at.
All right. I'll speak out loudly in Elven, hoping that my voice will reach the observer.
Okay.
Who goes there?
Okay. You still can't make out if there is a person standing under the shade of the trees, but the lantern that they're holding, let's see. Hang on a second. Let me. Oh, okay. You actually see a couple of other lanterns join this one, and the first one that you saw kind of wavers almost like it's been dropped, and then is picked up, and the lantern bearers kind of move back away from you into the woods. Although one of them, not one of the ones that was dropped, that figure is moving away, but kind of hesitantly. Like that one wishes to stay, but the others are fleeing.
Maybe put the wagon between us.
I'll carry my bow and I'll move forward toward the lanterns cautiously.
Okay.
Here we go.
They're staying at a walking pace ahead of you, but you can easily keep up with them as you are moving under the trees. The trees do get thicker and darker as they seem to stop at the foot of a large spreading oak tree, and it is fairly dark over here. It's like they're holding the lanterns but peeking around the bole of the tree that you can see in front of you, the sand and grass and whatnot spreading out, and you come within they're still staying, and you're perhaps 10 feet away from them.
Oh, wow. I ask again in Elvish, who goes there? And what business have you? I assure you we're friends.
Okay. Well, as you are approaching them, they kind of retreat ever so slightly. And you stumble a little bit because the wet sand under your feet gives way. And you can feel water begin to flow into your boots.
Oh no.
The 3 lanterns drift around the tree, and you can now see clearly they are not lanterns being held by anything. They are spheres of light a foot in diameter.
Well, I'll certainly try to escape the quicksand ASAP.
Yeah. I tell you what, roll initiative. Give me a d6.
Five.
Okay, you start to pull one leg free, and you get it on the land. And the one that's closest to you, you're not sure, but you think you hear kind of this sibilant chuckle, and it sort of says, "No, no, no." Oof, that is rough. A blue beam arcs out of it and strikes you for 14 points of damage.
Oof! I cry out in pain, of course.
Okay, the rest of you, oh, that is, your ranger, keen indeed are as the ears of the ranger. You think you hear someone crying out over the sounds of your construction, and you turn around and look. Turgo is nowhere to be seen.
We head off to where he went.
Call out to him and say, Turgo, don't go too far.
Well,
Too late!
it is only the ranger who hears this. Ranger, your fellows are cursing and hacking and splitting wood, and you're getting all kinds of helpful yet anatomically inappropriate suggestions from the dwarf every time you make a mistake. But you, over that din, hear someone cry out in pain. Meanwhile, back at the oak tree, the lights are kind of circling around you, and they're all sort of chanting, whispering, "Die, die,
Not today.
die." Roll initiative, please. Are you still trying to pry yourself out of the muck?
Yeah, I'm trying to beat. I'm trying to blow this popsicle stand. That's for damn certain.
Okay.
And,
Roll initiative.
Come on, man. Oh, it fell. Hang on. Oh, 2.
Okay, you have 1 foot completely out on dry land. Let's see. How is that calculated? What are you doing? You don't see him anywhere.
Well, it's up for the ranger to say anything.
after the ranger, I'm going to jump out of the hole and take a look around as I'm calling out for him to not go too far.
Where did Turgo go? Hold on. Brother Ishan finally realizes that someone's missing.
Since I don't see him around, I'd probably start looking for his tracks.
Okay. Roll percentile dice for me to track Turgo, the thief.
Yeah, well, he can hide himself. He can't necessarily hide his footprint.
I was stomping over there, by the way, in case I didn't mention that, and dragging my bow behind me and dropping some breadcrumbs,
Turgo went this way.
I got a 56.
You got a 56, yeah. So you can see his footprints on the grass, and that is kind of the direction that the sound came from. So Turgo, you may act first. You have 1 foot on the dry ground. Your other leg is still stuck in the quicksand. What do you wish to do?
I absolutely wish to get out. Is this something that perhaps a climb walls or something like that might assist me with, being that I'm a thief?
You're close enough to the edge that you don't really need to. It's more strength than agility right now. Is just pulling your leg free, which you're slowly starting to do. The will-o'-the-wisps are hoving close into you, and they're saying, "Die, die, 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 die."
Not today, fiends.
It may be today, fiends.
Of course, but
Yeah.
I got to keep my cool. Never let them see you sweat.
Don't duck under the water.
Oh, that's brutal.
Come on.
Don't have
Not
left.
good when the DM says that.
Yeah, well, I was blessed with decent hit points, so, and I was full.
Yeah, you were up. Why did you follow them into the wood? Why?
How many were you blessed with?
I was blessed with a beginning of 35
Okay.
before you're 14.
You take 10 more, and well, that's not too bad. You take a total of 16 more.
Okay, so 10 plus 6.
Yes.
Oof.
And bolt. So yeah, that is agonizingly painful, and you can kind of start to feel yourself slip.
Yeah, drift off into unconsciousness.
Yeah, you're dragging yourself on. Cecil, you see bright flashes, like little strobes in front of you as you are approaching. You come into a large clearing. There is a huge spreading oak in the midst of it. Turgo is trying to crawl out of a bog that is just in front of the tree, and that is all you see.
Okay, well then, first things first is I'm gonna yell to my comrades that our friend Turgo's in trouble, and then I'm gonna try to get within range to throw my sling to him to help him assist him out of that quicksand.
All right, so you're throwing. I'm sorry, you're throwing your sling to him to try and
one
pull him
end
that
of it.
way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Out of
okay.
the- out of the bog. I'll hold one end. He has the other end. It's got to be about 5 feet long, 6 feet long.
Yeah. No, it's a good. You guys, you hear this call for help from somewhere in the woods.
I move pretty damn fast, so I go running off.
Yeah,
Okay.
you'll get there long before I will. I'm not in my armor at this point, but
I'm
But
doing more one of those power walks, like.
You're not Naruto running.
No.
His feet
Oh,
can't
power walk.
raise off the ground.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you should feel good, Doomsword, because Jorge has already gone on social media to start the hashtag Save Turgo.
Hey, how about that?
Thoughts and prayers.
I somehow don't think it's going to work.
Display the Turgonian flag in your profile. That will probably anything since like 2007. It's just put his picture in your profile, and that will fix everything. Roll initiative for me, if you would, Mobius.
Okay.
Oh, thank God it's somebody else.
4.
Okay. Okay. Cecil, you are struck for 3 points of damage, and for another 5 points of damage, for a total of 8 points of damage. 8 on 4d8. That is how unlucky the poor Doomsword was. Yeah, but appearing like directly in front of you, as bright as two bright lanterns, are these spheres, and they zap you. They're visible now. And Turgo, the mud next to you explodes in a shower of sand and water that's been turned into superheated steam as the energy bolt misses you. But you have got your other leg pulled out now in this round. What do you wish to do now that you've been struck there, good ranger?
I got to find some cover and fire a sling stone back at one.
Which are you going to do? Because you have...
I got to get some cover first.
All right, so there's a fallen log over there you think you can get to.
I'll run to that and dive behind it.
Okay. I will say that Ishan, you will arrive at the end of this round. There are two golden bluish spheres hanging in midair. Turgo is on the ground. He is covered with terrible burns. You have no idea what's going on. Outlier, you will get there at the end of the next round. Are you ordering the men-at-arms to follow also?
At this point, no. There's no point that they there's no point that they should.
Okay.
They're not going to be of any use here.
Alrighty. Okay.
DM.
Yes.
Technical question. I would have stripped the majority of my plate off while working, but would we basically then count me as basically being in something like a chain shirt with all of the padding?
Nope.
And
The plate made off. I mean, if you want to, I can say that you have the equivalent of padded armor on.
That's what I would be thinking, because I'd still leave my arming doublet on, which, if you wear it in the Italian fashion, is a male shirt.
Okay, well, this is the D&D fashion, so you have the equivalent of padded armor.
That works.
All right.
He handicapped himself.
Hey, it's valid.
That's fine. Ishan,
Yes.
will-o'-the-wisps hovering before you.
I try to do some nimble footwork, interpose myself between Turgo and them, and yell, "Turgo, flee!" And I likely ineffectually attempt to hit one.
Okay, let's roll initiative. And since Ishan is taking the Ishan initiative, yes, no. Why don't you go ahead and roll a 6, Mark?
If I might interrupt, to be clear, I'm running as quickly as I possibly can, given my injured state.
Just gonna stroll. I rolled a 2.
He's doing his power
Roll a
walking.
It is a tie. Your open hand attack will land first.
No, I was gonna hit him with my weapon. It's
Okay. Well, your Bardiche then. You may.
my spetum. My spetum.
Sorry.
I fail miserably. That's typical for me.
Okay. All right. Is Cecil firing in this round?
Certainly is.
Go ahead and take your shot.
Ooh, natty 1.
Okay, yeah. Phew, phew, and you hear it fly somewhere behind you. Outlier, as you're running forward. Oh
To be fair, my base move, if I'm now in padded, is 9. So that's nice.
okay. You are struck in the forehead by a sling stone.
Oh no!
You take a point of damage.
Hey, how much?
This time the friendly fire was in front instead of behind.
Yeah, it's better than a javelin in the back of the neck.
My bad.
Okay.
At least this one won't kill me.
You're supposed to yell 4, by the way. Okay, Ishan.
Yeah, my armor class is 8. It got better.
Oh, your armor
What was
class
the
is
date?
8. Better. Okay, let's see. Yes, but what about your hit points?
Also 8. Everything's in balance.
Everything is balanced.
Strength, Constitution, Dexterity, all 8s.
How dead am I?
You are at. You're not too dead. You're not incredibly dead. You're not.
I'm
There's
just
no point in trying to raise you,
definitely dead.
Yeah. But you are dead. You're dead to the tune of -6.
Oh, that's pretty dead.
Yeah. Kaboom! You are blown backwards. If it is of any comfort whatsoever, the second one missed you.
Good.
So your body is recoverable at this point, except for the fact that, well, the will o' the wisps, you know.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it doesn't really say. So yeah, as your spirit is passing to the appropriate plane, yeah, it's rather disquieting because these things are enjoying your death energy. Like, they're not eating your soul, they're not stopping you from being, you know, resurrected, but they're like, dying hurts.
I can only hope in my last breath that Turgo has escaped. I will have done some good in the world.
Turgo, you are running as fast as you can.
Absolutely.
Tree next to you explodes as it's struck by another energy bolt. You pass Outlier. It's like you're going that way, Outlier's going this way. Outlier's holding his forehead, cursing in Dwarven.
Get the hell out of there! Get to the longhouse!
Get to the job.
I ain't got time to bleed.
Okay. Back at the oak tree. You can now see a total of 3 of these things. Mobius.
Are they following the other guys, or are they sticking around this tree?
They're kind of sticking near the tree. They don't have faces, obviously, but you can imagine that they watch Turgo retreat.
Okay, well, if
And
they're
then they
watching him,
slowly turn and look at you.
turn. Well, I was hoping while they were watching him, I'd go the other way.
Okay. Let's go ahead and roll initiative. Outlier, you enter the boggy area under the trees. So let's go ahead and. I'm sorry?
Do I see the lights?
Yes, you do. There's 3 lantern-like globes hovering around. Ishan is lying there, wisp of smoke rising from his chest.
Okay. So, all right. Who's rolling initiative?
Well, Outlier, you roll initiative because you've run up in here. But tell me what you wish to do first.
Probably grab Ishan's dead body and see if it still has any life in it, or if it, because to me he's either unconscious or dead. I can't quite tell from here, so I may as well try and retrieve it.
Okay. Then roll initiative, please. Oh, and what is Cecil doing, Mobius?
Well, he's got some cover behind that log.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll stick around for a minute, see what's going on.
Okay. Are you firing, or
Yeah,
are you?
I'll fire at one of the wisps
Okay.
to try to keep its tension off of Brother Ishan. And
Is that damn paladin doing anything?
The paladin will enter in the next round. Let me see.
Oh, yeah, we got a Darwesh too. I don't even know if he needs to be anywhere near that.
I didn't bother getting the men at arms involved because what are they going to do? Die?
Die. I killed the monk like he killed me when he slapped me in that chair with the yellow mold.
We're
To be fair, at
even,
least
Doom Sword.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to kill you. We got party fun.
Let me. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. At least this death is Mark's fault.
All right, I just need to check here. Let's see. All right. Yeah, so your friendly neighborhood paladin will be in the clearing at the end of this round. So roll initiative for me, please, TK.
You're not going to like it. It's a 4.
That is actually a tie. So you're grabbing Ishan. Yeah, his eyes are wide open. He's seeing eternity. He's not breathing. So do you want to grab his body and abscond with it?
That's about it. That's all I plan on doing is grab, drag, pull, you know. So I guess I'm going to make it there, eat a lot of attacks, and then I'll make it back next round.
Okay. Okay. You may go ahead and take a shot with your slingshot there if you wish, Master Ranger.
10.
10. Yeah, it just kind of goes zinging past.
I call out. I don't know how many hits I can take from this thing.
Why a slingshot?
It's better than coming up to it with a spear.
That's true.
Yeah, you're gonna take hits for me here when all of this is done.
Bolt impacts the log, but does not impact Cecil. However, 2 bolts do impact Outlier as he is fleeing.
Oh, me and my AC 8, of course.
You can hold Brother Ishan up as a shield.
You take a total of 23.
I don't think it's gonna help your conductor.
Oof.
23 points. Ouch.
I'm still alive. It's okay. I'm still alive.
Okay. Darawesh and Cork have entered the fray at this point, and Ishan, if you can roll, Mark, if you could roll for Darawesh for me, that would be keen.
Yep.
And Turgo, you're back at the work site, as it were, next to the castle, and there's the workmen. They're looking at you, or not? The men at arms are looking at you like, what goes on, my lord? Should we go engage in battle? What?
Only instant death lie there. Stay back if you value your soul.
All right.
Bandage me up.
Yeah, one man immediately forces a wineskin between your teeth and is, wrapping bandages on your burned flesh.
Those are going to really hurt when he peels them off later.
Indeed.
That's why he's giving him the wine. Okay, let's roll initiative. So we have Cork, we have we have Cork, we have Darawesh, and we have Cecil in the fray, fighting the 3 Will-o'-the-Wisps. Let's roll initiative, please. Mark, roll initiative.
Darawesh? Oh my god, he's suicidal.
2.
Okay, this is on Darawesh. That is a miss. And that is a miss. Damn. Well, no, that was 1 bolt on Darawesh. I forget. It's a single. It's a single attack, but it does 2d8. So that misses. The bolt fired at Cecil miss, and the bolt fired at Cork hits. Cork takes 9 points of damage. Cork will counterattack the one that zapped him. Let's see.
Darash will also try to hit the one that zapped him. That's okay.
That's fine.
He rolled an 18 because the 16 plus his I think plus 2 scimitar. Hopefully that's
Okay.
enough. Is that something? And what's scimitar?
Hang on a second.
I got it here. Scimitar. 1d8.
Yep.
8
Roll
points
in
of damage. Oh, 10 points of damage.
What level is he?
I have no idea.
I think he was 3 now.
Yeah, that'll miss.
Yeah.
Um,
Wisps are devilishly hard to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, -2 or something. Get to the longhouse!
Yeah.
Run, you fools! Fly!
Yeah, what is? I don't understand why. Why? Even
Yeah.
even the half-crazed dwarf is running away. Like no.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cork lays into this thing. I mean, he would have hit this thing a country mile, and it's like it was there and gone and back again. And Cork's just looking at his longsword, and he looks back at this thing, and it chuckles evilly. Go ahead and take your shots if you wish, or shots singular if you wish there, Cecil.
Yeah, I don't know if Cecil wants to do that. I think he wants to back out of there and take off. I don't.
All right.
He can't take no 22 points of damage right now.
Okay.
So he's gonna fly and then try to lose himself in the bush. Circle around. I don't know. Try to flank. Get as far away. Maybe out of their range. Go back to the longhouse.
Let's all go back to Longhouse. Maybe Darwish and Cork can be like rear guard as we're retreating.
Okay. Then how about Mobius roll initiative?
Okay. 3.
Okay, so you're getting up and running. That is a miss. That is a very fortunate miss.
Guess I'm also saying a silent prayer to my God.
Yeah. Darwesh cries out. He is struck and takes. Oh, what are you crying about? Darwesh takes 4.
Oh, nice.
And the last
Not so
one.
bad, Turgo. What's right?
Now you get him the hell out of there.
Cork is missed entirely, but you guys are just getting the hell out of that patch of woods.
Yes.
Yep.
Mockingly, as you're fleeing, you hear almost childlike laughter. Where are you going? Come back. Come back. Come back.
Keep running and shake my fist behind me.
So, friends, I'm just going to remind you, what do you not do?
It was something bitchy, like no elf carries any lantern or torch I've ever seen.
Well,
Don't
perhaps.
follow random
However,
in the wood. Don't
you shouldn't have
pretend-
split up the party by going to build that bridge.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
That
Don't
was a
accept
party
candy for
split. You were
strangers.
sitting right there.
What was I supposed to do?
Leave it.
Twiddle your thumbs, play in the dirt.
Stay in the sunlight.
If Brother Ishan was alive, he'd say that the thing to remember is don't bring a pole arm to a will-o-wisp fight.
Don't bring anything to a will-o-wisp fight.
He had the wrong tool for the job.
Yeah.
So is he mostly dead? All dead? What's the deal with him?
He's got to be
he
like
is all dead.
he's
The
gonna be
only
like
thing is-
-11 by now or something.
The only thing we can do is go through his pockets and look for loose change.
But he's a monk. Well, you know what? You know how much loose change he has? He has 8 copper pieces.
See,
Actually, he has 10 gold. He's flush with cash.
He's always giving his money away. He hasn't got nothing.
All the money he has is in the bank.
Yep. So, friends, are we turning around and helping our erstwhile comrade recover himself and utilize one of our few raised deads, or do we leave this fellow dead and just add him to the pile in the backyard?
I know not. I feel somewhat responsible for his death. Of course, he was very weak in the first place, but he traveled with us for a while, and at least for a bit. It is up to you. Perhaps you should augur and speak with him. You can do that now.
Speaking as the other
That
resident
wouldn't be a
new guy,
terrible
I kinda hope
idea.
you
I
help
do
me.
actually. Ironically, I do keep augury prepared. For not necessarily for this occasion. I wasn't thinking of it that way. I was more so thinking of it for terms of, do we follow those lights? Cast spell, yes or no, right? Because that's an excellent option for that, Turgo. But yeah, sure. Let's ask him. DM, can I do that?
No, augury is not speak with dead. It will not let you speak with.
I'll put it this way, though. Could I not word it like this? Would he want me to? Yay or nay? Did my god clue me into that? Like, would he feel positive about it?
Well, this is a case where I would want Mark to somehow private message me, perhaps on Discord.
Working on
I
it.
mean, I could always wait 4 hours, I could always wait until tomorrow and then cast Speak with Dead.
Yeah.
He'll be less dead tomorrow, that's for sure.
So I suppose we're turning around and then rezzing the monk.
Even if we don't raise him, we must return. We need a new a new companion or two.
Okay, well that's valid. I did I used my spare on Clara, so I can't complain about what you did. So
Gods damn it, Cork! You used to be useful.
wait, how is this Cork's fault?
Why not? He's not here.
Don't.
That's valid.
It's the rule of
I
meetings.
will
Always
speak
blame
for
things
the-
on the person who's not there.
Yeah, don't blame this on me.
All right. Well, I guess
I almost got
seeing this
into
is
the
why we
building.
don't unload the cart. Let's load the cart with even more weight. Thump, dead body. And we'll finish settling the logs into place, though. We may as well finish that. They're not going anywhere.
Unless they're following us.
I wasn't going to do that, but now that you bring it up, that's actually a pretty good idea.
So we'll finish settling the haves into place, and then we can take the have-not back to the town.
Well, you might
That
want to
was-
consider doing that now because you can see the lights moving out of the woods towards you.
Oh, Christ. Okay.
Let's go.
fine.
I'm being a little generous, letting you guys stop and have a hurried 5-minute discussion, but they're
Come on,
not
Jim. Let's go.
satisfied with the.
Oh, I thought they weren't pursuing at all.
Oh no, they.
Okay,
They-
well, yeah.
They've had the dying, the death energy of the living, and they've acquired a taste for it. So you will have to hustle.
That's fine. My movement speed's 9 now, so I think I can outrun the slowest person, which is the paladin. And
You don't have to be the fastest, just faster than the slowest.
yes, I will outrun the slowest paladin, and we'll go from there.
Even dead, Brother Ishan's still faster than the rest of y'all.
I was heard the worst.
That's true.
Okay. Well, I guess the logs will be left as is.
Let's see. I'm going to say you guys have I mean, you won initiative and you fled, and you're having this discussion as you're kind of picking everything up. So I'm going to say that you see them, and they're about 80 yards away, because when you're out of doors, you're moving in yards, not tens of feet. So let's go ahead and roll initiative to stay at to stay at pace of these guys. You want to go ahead and roll that? Let's see. How about Doom Sword? Roll initiative for us.
I thought Cork was going to roll it. All right, let's see what we got. 3.
You guys are staying ahead of them, but if you look over your shoulder, well, actually, you don't see them.
That's worse.
Well, if I'm in the back of the cart, can I fire shots at them? Like,
You can't see anything.
That reminds me. I'm going to give you your sling stone back.
oh, you saved that, did you?
He pries it out of his forehead.
Gee, thanks.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait until about 2 a.m. and then I'm gonna give it back.
Cork leaps into the cart also, and
Cork, drive.
he says, "You drive," and stops and focuses, just like he's silently praying, and he says, "They're still there."
Well,
Yep.
I whipped Jim, or hit Jim with the reins a little bit harder and quit humming the getaway music.
Okay. He casts Animate Dead on on Brother Ishan's corpse.
I guess one thing I'll do as we're doing this, I'm gonna cast Cure Light Wounds
Okay,
on myself.
that's fine. Let's go ahead and roll another initiative, guys.
I get 11 hit points back. Or I get 11 hit points now. There we go.
Roll high.
That's the word.
Yeah, Mark, roll initiative, please, for the party.
6.
Wow, a tie.
Oh,
You guys are staying. You're keeping a pace of them. Cork's like, they're still there. They're in the room with us. Let's roll initiative again.
All right. 4.
Okay, you think you're starting to pull away. He says they're still back there, but it's fainter. You are coming up on the longhouse now as you're on your horses and in the cart. Venger, 3 meters. They're in the wagon. They're not in the wagon. You're not reading it right. All right. Let's do one more initiative roll.
Um,
Mobius.
5.
party's got the initiative. Now, remind me. Well, no, you guys have just got the cart, so you'll have to get your horses from the longhouse unless you're going to leave them there.
Whatever.
Well, let's see here. If we've just got... Yeah, if we just got the cart and the donkey at that point, well, then we wouldn't have had our horses anyway. But let's see. Whether we'd have them out to help with the moving of the logs, or we wouldn't.
I don't even know my horse's name. Let's go.
That's valid.
I was about to eat it.
Yeah, I can always we can always cycle back later. Oh, at least now, yeah. No point. I'll cast Cure Light Wounds again.
Okay.
Who wants?
So you guys are not stopping for anything at the longhouse. You're breaking north, right?
Keep going.
Yeah. Best we can probably do is maybe one of us pull the lock to the barn door and let the horses out.
All right, so let's see.
We'll see here. We'll see when we come back.
Yeah.
Just buy new horses.
Yeah. It's just cruel to the horses, that's all. I was like, and to be fair, the horses would also make a good distraction.
That's true.
They are a target that is not us.
Indeed.
But I have my mule, so that's not my problem.
That horse was like 10 pieces of gold.
Okay.
I'll buy 130 of them.
So, bolting on, eventually Cork slaps the shoulder of whoever's driving the wagon at this point and says, "They've left us. They're not back there anymore."
Turgo, you gain 3 hit points, by the way.
Thank you, Sir Dwarf.
And this is you are some distance away.
All right, cool.
Now, for those who are, all I can say, this is a not just watching 5 or 6 dorks play D&D, but learning a little bit about AD&D. If you have a Dungeon Master's Guide and want to follow along on page 69, nice, of the DMG, there's a whole section on pursuit, and I will tell you guys the math and let the party know the math. Your base chance of evading pursuit out of doors is 80%. The pursuit is faster, gives you plus 10%. The pursuer is faster, is minus 20%. However, in the forest, which you guys are currently in, that lends another 30%. So it jumps up to 60, 70%. And the party is total 6 to 11 creatures, which I'll have to throw in with a cart and whatnot, is a total of 0. So as you have effectively gotten out of sight of the will-o'-the-wisps, and I roll percentile dice, the math worked out. So there you had a chance to escape, and you did, and eventually they gave up and went back to their idyllic little grotto.
So party, once we are out of sight, let's go ahead now and double back. Not immediately, we can wait, an hour. But
yeah, let's give her a bit. Why, you want to go get the horses?
Well, I don't see a point in leaving them behind. Besides, are you going to make my mule drag this cart the entire way back? The answer is going to be no. Good mule. Strong. I'm not going to do that to her.
Okay, so it is late in the afternoon when you get circled around and get back to the longhouse. There is not any unwanted encounters. The horses have actually not been destroyed, so you have your you have your cart if you wish to take it, or your horses rather, if you wish to take them and return to the city of Greyhawk, or it's up to you guys.
Yeah, I guess we need to go. Do we want to set out the season?
Yeah, I am still gravely wounded. And we have gotten thin.
That's fun. Another 3 hit points for Turgo. My cure light wounds. And I can do that if I've rested for 4 hours. I can do that again. So DM, do you want me to roll that?
Yes.
Okay. I regain 7. Turgo regains 4. And did anybody else need more?
I could take some. If you wouldn't mind, good cleric.
You gained 7.
Sweet.
The paladin, which of you is still the worst injured? The paladin will lay on hands.
I'm at
good
18.
now.
I'm at 15. I'm less than half. I don't know where Outlier is in relatively.
I'm at pretty much exactly half. So go ahead.
I'm one
you
away
first.
from max.
Okay. He lays hands on Turgo. Turgo, you get back. I think he's a 4th level paladin or 5th level.
I believe so. I think he was ready to. He was ready to get his warhorse, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that would make him 4th level. So you get back 8.
Thank you. Thank you, Master Dwarf. And thank you, Quark.
Of course.
All right. Let's sleep for the night, and then see if when we get back to the castle after, another 2 days, if the monk has the stomach to get back up.
Who's got the dice?
Well,
Okay.
I'll take first watch again. Why not?
Guess I'll go second.
Suppose I'll go third.
We could always prop
Okay.
Brother Ishan up.
Weekend to Brother Ishan's.
Dead and Unforgiven. Just prop him up. Put a couple torches on either side of him. Oh, interesting. For some reason, I thought that I had actually inadvertently shafted you guys because the protection from evil will keep a will-o'-the-wisp away, but it actually does not. On page 44 of the player's handbook, for those following along at home, the protection from evil does aerial servants, demons, devils, jinn, ifrit, elementals, imps, invisible stalkers, night hags, quasits, salamanders, water weirds, windwalkers, and Zorn, but not will-o'-the-wisps, which is weird because aerial servants are not inherently evil.
And water weirds,
And I
it
think
seems like kind of the same type of elemental thing, right?
Well, no, water weirds are absolutely evil. They're like the water equivalent of a will-o'-the-wisp.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, no, I got you now. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
so they don't.
Whatever.
So the morning arrives. What will you do now, adventurers?
Retreat.
Indeed, we must.
Throw everything in the chart.
Well, see, that's why you don't unpack. I told you, you either unpack the cart after the first day and a half, or you leave it packed because we're going to immediately come back and somebody's going to be dead.
That is a fine point.
Truer words were never said.
I begin to understand your wisdom, dwarf.
Method
The
to the
more I
madness.
spend time with you, despite my prejudices.
Yeah, I hope it makes sense now. All right, well, let's turn around and I guess frog march our way back.
Did you memorize speak with dead monk?
I could. There's only one problem. There's a paladin here that would not like that very much. So instead,
There's a paladin here? I better haul ass.
I know, right? I know. But I will memorize 4 Cure Light Wounds, and I'm happy to distribute those amongst party members as we travel. So DM, do you want me to do those rolls now, or do we want to assume we're all at full hits?
Cork will give another 8, but this is to Sir Outlier.
Cool.
And
I will
yes,
give-
cast the spells.
Cool. So I'll give 6 to myself. 6 plus 8 is 14. And 14 plus 18 is 32.
32, yes.
All right. I will give my. All right. Turgo, you get 8 more. And then third one for me, I get 4 more. I'm at max. And then I have a fourth one who wants it.
I feel fine now. I've healed from those grievous wounds.
Did Cecil get sizzled?
I'm fine.
Are you fine, or are you like this goes to Turgo? Turgo, I've seen like, do you still have a split lip or something, or are you like actually fine?
Just some bumps and bruises, eh?
Take 4 more points.
Now I have no bumps and bruises, eh?
Exactly. You know, that cold sore, that blister on your left boot heel. Yeah, no, you're good. All right.
That canker completely
There's my
gone.
first 4 Cure of the day.
Now your
I check down below, make sure there's nothing still going on there.
your ranger is rather, this is meant for the audience. The ranger was able to mostly avoid being hit because he took cover. Cover adds greatly to armor class in AD&D. You can basically get yourself good cover to shoot from behind, and even a lousy armor class can become as low as armor class 1 or 2, depending. So... so you head back at least for the last chance in, correct? Or are you going all the way back to the city of Greyhawk?
May as well just go all the way back.
Okay.
I'm gonna find a cleric that can bring him back to me.
Right.
You guys never ran across those before on your way to the castle?
No.
We then into
I feel these woods have it out for us.
There was a
Perhaps they have felt we've gained too much in strength. Perhaps they feel that we are too intelligent and foiling their every plan. But it seems rather suspicious, and I don't trust it at all.
To me, it looks like some fool elf followed 3 dancing fairy lights into the woods when even a small child would have known not to.
According to dwarves, all elves are fools, so what difference does it make to you?
Exactly.
And thanks for running into the fray, though. Rescuing our dead companion and taking a slingshot to the head.
That
Hey,
reminds
no
me.
need to
I'm
get me
going-
involved in this.
I
will have you know that I climbed out of that bog by myself.
Yeah, I was trying to help you.
Too little, too late, Ranger.
Yeah.
I mean, the monk tried to help you, and now look at what he got.
I actually do feel bad about that.
You feel bad? Never.
You're right. I never do, but I kind of do. On this one.
Jack Lance energy that Turgo's bringing, or that Doomsword's bringing to Turgo. I feel bad about Believe it or not.
I'm still hurt. What can I say?
I feel like I'm winning if I got Turgo to almost feel bad about something.
Right.
That's the moral victory.
Other than wolves who are too few in number to want anything to do with you guys, you encounter nothing on your way back to the city of Greyhawk. It is evening, so you'll have to go in through one of the postern gates, and the toll collector regards you and says, "Weren't there more of you when you left?"
And I'm going to reach into Brother Ishan's pocket, fish out the 10 gold, and pay them with that. And say, donations from our missing member.
I see.
He would totally be back in that. That's perfect.
There you go. Okay, so back in the city of Greyhawk. Once again, Jorge is starting a hashtag bring brother back.
I just want to see the role played speak with Dead.
Me too. Like, that's fun. But, we have a paladin in this group, so no fun.
Oh, don't bring me back.
The paladin.
Turbo's a dick.
That's about right.
Well, Cork is going to go pray and then have a drink. So,
Perfect.
What happens in his absence, he doesn't know about and can't do anything about because the player himself is absent also.
Let me put it this way: I'm a neutral good cleric.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see
Good is
Speak with
good.
Dead. My point being, I don't see Speak with Dead as an inherently evil act.
Well, sure. And I mean, hey, you're just trying to avoid probate because nobody wants that.
Well, that, but also the fact that, from a true perspective, I have known this man a month.
Yeah.
Right? It's worth asking. It really is. No offense, but Brother Ishan was a little weird. He's a little odd from my taste. He doesn't touch women. He doesn't touch booze. He doesn't touch even men. He doesn't touch really anything, not even coin.
Money away.
At least he wasn't from the Far East. Trust me, they're far weirder.
He barely touches the ground, which is probably why he can't hit anything. So he
did have a speetum though.
So we may as well at least talk to him first. So yeah, I'll call him up on ye olde dead telephone.
Okay.
Probably something to the akin of pressing my ear to the side of his head while chanting prayers to my God.
He was young.
It's a set number of yes or no questions.
And I really only have one.
Okay.
Do you want to walk the earth again as a living corpse?
Do I get to answer that, or Bill, are you going to answer
that? Sure, you can answer that. He's asking you. You're in the great beyond. You're up there high kibaing with Bruce Lee and
high five in your deity.
I mean, yes, you could have done the whole Buddhism thing and be like, "I have escaped the wheel. Don't bring me back."
What was your question again?
Would you like to walk the earth again in a living, as a living corpse, as a living person?
You want to be
Nah.
Yeah.
No. All right.
Did he say nah, or was that just gas escaping his body?
You play.
Yeah, I had to shake him a little bit. Yeah, shake him a little bit. Okay, well, if that's the case, you are going to see brother, or in this instance, you're going to see Outlier look rather perturbed, and then I'm going to pick up the monk and look for the nearest crematorium.
No, there's a midden down
well
that
over
alley
there.
if you want to just, toss.
No, I
He was
want
a
I want
follower
him
of
fully
Heronius, by
cremated.
the way.
His ashes need to go to the temple.
Perhaps we should take him to the Temple of Erroneous.
Well, if he's a worshiper of Heronius, his body should be received whole at the temple, and they will.
All right. Well, let's go empty the poor sod's bank account, and
I believe there are 3 copper pieces in there.
probably. But hey, never know.
The processing fees leaves you with a single bronze Z after you're done.
Here, you watch. He's going to play an assassin next.
Can it be a gnome illusionist assassin?
He's like, I'll take the rear.
Everybody's
All right,
back
so-
multiple times.
We'll have a little bit of post game, and then we'll wrap it up this evening, guys. Mark, what are you thinking of running next? You're muted, my friend.
I usually muted. When I made up my monk, I had rolled up a bunch of possible stats and picked one. So I might just work my way down the list. There's an 18 in there. That's pretty good. So I'll have to figure out where to put it. Am I going to start at first level? I'm fine. I'm fine if you want me to.
At this point, we might go with the bring you in at the party average rule, which is
I will hardly support that.
That's typically what I do.
let me see. It is a rule in the Dungeon Master's Guide, and I want to.
I'm 7th, very luckily.
No, I think he means like
These
speed
always
total
go real
wise.
quick.
No, it would be at level average, but I'll look that up and I'll
that's
have that for our audience.
Yeah, I guess I can't be an assassin. That would not quite work with Cork.
Yeah, not and have Cork stay in the the.
I'll figure it out. I've played a magic user, I've played a fighter, played a cleric, I've played a monk. I'm the guy who's died. I've died the most times, I think, in this game. I'm just going to work my way through all the character classes.
Within
The magic user would be real valuable, of course. And if you're approaching level 5, you know what that means.
I will fail to get Fireball again.
Oh yeah, true.
I could come back as
not?
Abner's cousin.
Why not? And I know the group might not like this, but why not a fighter magic user, at least so you have a little bit more in the way of hit points?
I actually was thinking about that. I might be able to squeeze that because, yeah, I probably can pull that off.
Elf or half elf fighter magic user. That sounds cool.
Yeah, that might be a cool little mix.
All right.
That's what I started out as.
So, for anyone who was under the impression after last week's tussle with the Hill Giants, oh, Bill runs a Monty Hall game. This is an average 5th level party, and they took down 3 full hit point Hill Giants.
Yeah.
The dice
fights you do. I've seen Will-O-Wisps take down 10th and 11th level heroes.
Oh, I can believe it. I'm not going to share the stats,
Those eye blasters.
except to say they do have treasure type Z, and had you guys pulled off the W, you certainly wouldn't have gone home empty-handed. Okay, you would have gotten the catamaran, the Hawaiian vacation, and 5,000 to put on the gift card.
Every other party like us, they already killed.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. The big issue with them is the invisibility, the high armor class, the fair number of hit points. Oh, and if that's not bad, how about the flying? And if that's still not bad, How about, I don't know, the 2d8 like electricity that they do to you? It's not good.
The luring, all
the
that.
one thing. The one thing
That was a
is
real surprise. I didn't expect
no,
Will-O-the-Wisps.
there's nothing good or redeeming about them. It's all bad. It's like a beholder. It's just all bad. Well, actually, no. There's one saving grace for a beholder. They don't move that fast.
Yeah. And they kill you real fast, though.
Yeah.
Beholders are rough customers. They're bad news. But anyway, so we'll see next week what Mark is bringing to the table as far as a fighter magic user. I mean, hey, you're coming in at 5th level. You could come in as a fighter, adventurous fighter for one more level, then switch over to thief and do the bard trick.
Ooh,
you could do that.
That's interesting.
But you'd have to have the minimums for it. So if you did want to do that, you'd need to research up the bard.
Yep.
And that was one thing that I thought about after the fact. Once I made 4th or 5th level in thief, I was like, maybe I should have taken human so I could dual class or something. But I'm pretty happy with the character as he is until he dies.
Right on. I think the audience, you guys will have to tell me. I think they kind of like you guys and your antics and so on. And hey, Mobius made it out tonight without dying. I think that merits a round of applause there. A brand new character does not.
I saw the monk go down, and then I started to rethink my cover
Your
of the
life
retreat.
choices.
Yeah, your existence.
Let me just dig an improvised fighting position with my belly button real quick, and you guys can absorb lightning. That actually caused a bit of a debate once upon a time because I unleashed one will-o'-the-wisp and a player. He was a friend of mine. He's no longer with us anymore. But he was very vehement that I had screwed the party because I had unleashed one will-o'-the-wisp upon them. Hello, Toppled Pot. Greetings. Because he misread the entry for will-o'-the-wisp and insisted that the way it's written, it automatically hits with a 2-16. It's still an attack roll. Even though the thing has a lot of hit dice, it still has to roll to hit.
That's interesting.
It just does it very well.
Yeah, because that was also one thing that didn't translate very well to other editions. Right, it's kind of taken as a de facto single target shock, right? As where in AD&D they do have to roll to hit.
Yeah, it does say the wording is the creature can attack, however, any hit causing 2-16 points of electrical damage to the opponent. I deem that to mean that it has to hit. It has to make a 2-hit roll.
Makes sense.
Yep.
With that said, they're 9 hit dice monsters, so them missing is, really low chance. But anyway, I have said too much about the stats of the monster to the party. So thank you all very much. Toppled just arriving. We are just
departing there again.
Little post game. Any parting thoughts, gents, before we break for the evening?
Thanks for the game.
Yeah.
You do
As
not
always.
follow the fairy lights
For sure.
into the
thanks for
woods.
Do not follow the fairy lights. Don't go into the light.
No, I'm never going into the woods again. That's the ranger's job.
Lord, it's an elf with God, what is it? What's fear of trees?
Leave it to the thief to wander off.
Right.
Phobia.
I have fears of trees with lights in them and quicksand.
Oh God, if I run the holiday game and you guys get to go to the old Phoenix Inn, the first thing Doomsword's going to do is draw a sword and attack the Christmas tree in a corner.
The Krampus.
Anyway, thank you to my players. Thank you to my audience, of course. We'll be back tomorrow night with just some kind of open D&D talk. Maybe Kyle will join us. Maybe he won't. I know he will be back next week. Thursday, we're going to hang out, and I think maybe we'll do some deep dive on some classic D&D on Thursday. Friday, we'll have a little bit of preamble ramble, but then we're going to play some Gamma World. That's right. We're going to revisit the radioactive ruins of Gamma World. So everybody, you want to be here for that. Don't miss it. And again, if you're not already subscribed, please do click that subscribe button and click the bell icon for notifications. We are at 4505, I believe, on the sub count, which is just awesome. And I thank everyone for contributing to that. Yeah, 4505. Presuming it stands after there we go. So thank you, players. Thank you, audience. We'll see you guys next week. And on the way out, why don't you enjoy the dulcet tones of Mr. Bob Antone and Owlbear? Peace.
Have you seen my owlbear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owlbear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle way off course? Naked as a toad all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to the show.